You got, you got the look.
I know this one.
Bing. Body slamming.
Your body slamming. Your body kick step, kick step. I know it. Okay, carry on. Hello, Riz. And hello. I'm Dana. This is Words That Move Me. I'm glad you're here. Really stoked because today we're talking to a dear friend of mine, Codie Wiggins. I know Cody because we've danced together and toured together many times. We've shared many moves. But after this conversation, I would say that I have not shared enough moves or tours with this person. He's a delight. He's a remarkable talent. He's worked with Usher, Beyonce, Chris Brown, Sierra, obviously Justin Timberlake, just to name a few. His talent is singular. He is one of a kind. Oh, and he has some incredible stories about booking gigs, specifically tours. I cannot wait to share. But first, let's do some wins. Today I am celebrating... I'm working on a project where I'm choreographing some movement for stop motion animation. I love this kind of work. It lights me on fire. I live for this. And today I'm celebrating delivering a first pass, like a round one of a number. And I received no notes. First pass, great pass. Pause for a teachable moment here. No notes does not necessarily mean that it's good and you're good. Getting notes does not necessarily mean that it's bad and you're bad. And this is a collaborative field. I'm trying to remember this. There will be notes most of the time. But for time's sake, today, I'm celebrating no notes and moving forward onto the next number. Stoked about that. That's me. Now you go. What's going well in your world? Okay, my friend, congratulations. Keep winning. I'm celebrating you so strong. Okay, let's do this. Codie Wiggins, man, the best stories about booking work that I've ever heard, period. So settle in and enjoy the one and only Codie Wiggins.
My face hurts already.
I know. I'm really excited. Thank you for being here, Cody.
Thanks for having me.
We've known each other for a very long time, but on one hand, I can count the times that we've sat down and talked shop, just us, with a room full of cameras and people. So thank you again for being here. Tradition on the podcast, you introduce yourself. Tell us everything you want us to know about you.
Okay. It all started on October... No, I'm joking.
But wait, really, truly, when is your birthday?
October 30th.
Okay.
Yeah, day before Halloween. Yeah, Scorpio.
A little warm up. Okay.
You know?
Scorpio. Okay. I don't know much about that. I almost got kicked out of a birthday party once for saying, I don't really believe in astrology.
Yikes.
And everybody's like,
Meh.
it was not the move. So I'm cool with it. It's fine.
Same.
But okay, Scorpio, carry on.
I am from North Carolina by the way of Georgia. I was born in Georgia. Started my dance career around the age of 18. It's like 2006. And have been able to run across many stages with your artist's favorite artist and some of your recent favorite artists, I would imagine.
Yeah. Care to list?
Yeah, let's try. Justin Timberlake.
I was there for that.
Usher, Chris Brown, Jason Derulo. I've worked with
Nicki Minaj,
Beyonce once, which was very quick exchange. So I can't really say I was there, but I was there. It's interesting.
I've worked with Beyonce nunts, so that's more than me. Good job.
No stress. Film crossed over a little bit.
Wait for it. There's one more that I have to mention because we share on this one as well. The Backstreet Boys.
Oh, man. Yes. First Vegas residency cycle. Yeah.
Cool.
Indeed. What? Backstreet's back, baby. All right.
Okay, and I'm not trying to get you into any trouble right now, and I will let you finish. But who's a better boy band, NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Okay. So I love questions like this because they're two different. They're like, one is more R&B and the other one is more like pop R&B. Backstreet Boys tailored themselves after Boyz II Men.
For sure.
And that time period, early 90s, was more like, I love you, make love,
Yes.
whole nine.
Yes.
Whereas NSYNC was more like Y2K, more
God.
up to date, more pop, more upbeat. Make the girls scream because I look good. No offense to you fellas, you're handsome, okay?
Yes.
But I think for me, it's even split 50-50.
That's how you dodge a question, ladies and gentlemen, right there.
Okay.
Okay, back to film. Go.
I was able to cross over into working on a few films as an assisting and associate choreographer, depending on the film. Pitch Perfect 1, I had a scene where I performed and kind of assisted the scene. Akman Jones is the head choreographer, creative. Pitch Perfect 2, same thing. I got to be there for the whole process with himself and Binky. If you don't know who Binky is,
Big
research.
Fan. Oh my God. Have to have Binky on the podcast.
I will connect you.
Have to have AJ on the podcast.
You already got him. Yeah.
Yikes.
Indeed.
Come
Okay.
on. Carry on.
Alvin and the Chipmunks, I forget the extended title to that, but it was with Rich and Tone, who were the head choreographers for that film. Get On Up, which was a James Brown biopic. Done a TLC movie, done a New Edition movie, done the Bobby Brown film.
Is that your preferred mode or medium of work? Do you love doing that?
I just think that's where God, the higher power, has placed me. I really have no hold to any genre of entertainment. Like,
Okay.
I've been able to touch, I would say, every surface almost, except for country.
Oh.
I think country music is the only space that I haven't been able to fully exist yet. I've done things in the Latin community. I've done things, of course, in the hip hop. I've done things super pop. I've been in the slums of artist development, working with actors to become artists, like just kind of every range that you could kind of, I guess, think of, I would imagine.
Is there one that lights you up more than another?
Oh, man.
I mean, you did just call it, what did you call it? The grunges or the
Oh.
gutters of artist development? Is that not your favorite?
Well, artist development, oh, man. I do enjoy artist development.
But it can be slow, and sometimes the payoff is certainly less immediate.
1000%.
Yeah.
But that process to collaborate with someone, if they're open, and when you find that in a person, like, it can be very rewarding.
Yeah.
But then, sometimes you kind of flip the bill and it's like, all right, well, I just paid this and we're going to move forward to the next one.
Investments, sometimes they
Exactly.
return, sometimes they
But
do
that's
not.
self-growth.
Totally.
I think that the process is self-growing. Like, you understand a lot of mediums for the challenges that you meet and the barriers you have to jump over in those spaces to be a problem solver, depending on if you want to go a creative direction route or just a directing route, or to produce all of these small, or what some people may call small jobs, or the lower end jobs, which they are not. They're all promoted for the next level, the upper echelon, if you want to put it that way.
No one can do much alone. So many moving pieces of this entertainment business that
1000.
we get to do.
Yes.
And that I've been so lucky to get to do at least part of with you. But let's not jump quite there. I want to do a little retrograde, because you just said that you started dancing when you were 18. And I don't think I ever knew that.
Yeah.
And that's relatively late to 3.
Yes.
It's
I
it's
wish.
daycare at that point, let's be real. But what was your meet cute with dance? Like, how did you find it? What did that look like?
Well, my dad has always been into funk music.
Come on.
Okay. But
See, keep going.
no. What's up?
I'm like, my dad was into the Beatles, which isn't bad.
But that's still funk music to me.
Well,
It's a little spacey.
it got there. They got to a place, but it started like
Rock and roll.
but very pop. I mean, hook. I mean, not even verse. Like, starts with a hook,
Facts.
verse, hook, the end, or double hook at the end. It's like very much a recipe. But my dad's favorite Beatle, I think, is Paul. And a lot of Paul's music is kind of like,
I get you.
and funk music is
Bounce.
so you can tell by how you move what kind of music you're
yeah,
into.
that's that Bootsy
And for
Collins.
us, it was like, we were kind of in this household a little
Oh,
bit.
legit. Wait, the Californians
Yeah,
had to be big there.
I didn't find funk until I was like an adult here living in LA.
It was just taking a nap inside of you
It was
until
snoozing.
you
It hit the snooze for 18, 19 years. Yeah.
Wait,
okay.
really?
Well, yeah. I mean, I moved here when I was 18, and I was assisting Marty all the time. And Marty introduced me to Tony Basil.
Word.
And she and I did a trade swap. I helped her with his material, specifically his musicality, which she could not. I remember a Neo combo that he did once that I had to put on at half speed for her. And she has a tempo control thing at her place
a
that
unicorn.
doesn't correct for pitch. So we're dancing to Neo. But she needed to hear like, and she needed to hear all the little bits. So I helped her with Marty's stuff. In exchange, she taught me locking. And then I started taking more locking class. Sugar Pop, Lockadelic was teaching at Millennium at the time. And that is when, that's when I literally, I don't think I really had it before then. I had some technique and a lot of diversity in terms of styles. But yeah, the actual feeling
You're
of
a
funk I didn't have
unicorn.
till later. Hey, I'm a thing. I'm a something. But your dad was into funk. We're back.
Yes, and so my dad was into funk music, like super heavy, but my mother is very much so religious.
Okay.
And there was no secular music. And the fact that I'm saying secular lets you know how there's no other music in the house.
Oh, it was
nothing. Gospel music,
rigid.
done. And if it wasn't that, instrumentals, not to say jazz of sorts, not to say like classical music, but no words or gospel music, done.
Well, it could be worse, man. That
Very
gospel
much so.
music is.
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh my goodness.
What? My boy, okay, I don't just sing, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I don't just dance. I meant to put that the other way. You get what I meant. I don't really do it for real. I used to, but I stopped.
You can't really come on a podcast and say that you don't just sing. I mean, dance, and then not give us something.
I'm also a smoker at this point.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So you might need
I have
full.
to get I have the full warm up. It's been years since I really sang though, like a long time.
Sorry, dad, funk, music. How did you find dance then?
So I played sports,
Okay.
but I've always had music around. Like even though in the house we couldn't listen to secular music, outside the house, my dad in the car, I was with my dad all the time. And my cousins, a lot of my cousins in North Carolina, I would spend a lot of time with them just based on, like my mom had 3 businesses and my dad drove trucks.
Yep.
So if I wasn't at home, I was on my bike around the neighborhood, but there's music everywhere. I'm prime time like 90s.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Prime time
Good
like
music.
96
Good
to
music.
2000. You know what I'm saying? So in that, you have MTV, VH1, BET, and I'm enticed
And you're watching music videos all the time.
all the time. Top 10, get home right out of school, but I'm practicing and like mimicking what I see. And I had some cousins of mine, set of twins out of North Carolina, Antoine and Anthony. They introduced me to the movie Breakin'. Even though my dad would be
record underneath Prince right there.
Oh,
Kid
legit.
you not. That's wild.
boom, 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 boom,
And on vinyl, dude, it's really nice.
Crisp.
I'm really actually a little crackly.
Oh, that. I love it.
Okay, on your way out, that's what we'll play. Okay,
Please.
I promise I will stop interrupting you. I'm
No, it's
excited
cool.
to be talking.
We
Keep
haven't had a
going.
chance to do this often. Like
I
you
know,
said, less than
I know.
5 times.
Okay.
We got a lot to catch up. So they introduced me to that movie, and my dad would be around the house like gliding and waving just randomly with my mom.
Okay,
like,
Pops.
Right. My mom, she has like this, she didn't always just listen to gospel music, but she has like a funky bounce.
I can see
her
it.
mashed potato is
Oh, I
stupid.
can see it. I bet it is.
But that's the only thing she'll do is the mashed potato. That is the only thing. She'll give you like a side group, but she'll give you like, that's it. But my dad is waves and like pops, like as old school as it is, just enthusiasm, like a high level of it. So that's where I get it from. So basketball practice to baseball practice to track practice to football, anything sports, I'm getting in trouble because I'm ADD. Like I'm like, all right, I know the play or I know what's coming up next. La, 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 la. In school, do all my schoolwork and be at my desk like, what am I doing? Get sent to the principal's office for interrupting class, whatever. So it was just in me, I guess. And then my junior year of high school, parents got a divorce. They are remarried. That's another story.
Wow.
After 30 years. But my
Okay.
parents got a divorce, and when they split, we moved. I was battling in North Carolina at the time. I was like 15 or so when I really like started to understand that I could dance. And we would go with radio stations from county to county at their block parties and perform or do local talent shows or talent shows at school. And I was the best dancer in my grade. So anytime we had like pep rallies, people are pushing me out. So in that, I was battling quite heavily that last year before I moved from North Carolina to Atlanta. And when I got to Atlanta, a guy in North Carolina had just moved from Atlanta. And he was telling me about a few things that I could do when I got to the city. And I actually went and did them. got with this church to do some summer camp with these kids as a coach.
Okay.
And there was a guy that he introduced me to. He said, he'll take you where everybody dances. And I said, all right, cool. Ended up going into this broken down nightclub called the Aquarium or the Atrium. The Aquarium, if I'm not mistaken. It's not open. It's a gutted pool. It's torn to bits, but they're playing crank music, like fast tempo. Kind of like how Miami has their bounce music, their style of music. Ours is very similar. Our movement is very similar without the booty popping. Ours is more intricate footwork and like arms, and we're battling without speaking, obviously. And I learned that style my senior year of high school, which is then translated into my first audition for Stomp the Yard when I snuck into that audition. That was my first audition. Went from there, got some network in that space, and that's a whole other story.
Because you booked it.
I did, but I actually got kicked. So, okay, I'll tell you.
Side story.
Cindy and Neff were the agents at Block South when Block was there. And I used to intern as a movement coach at this place called the Artist Factory. Okay. So it's my first time in the city. Like, I'm just like, I can dance, whatever.
What do you need? Anybody
whatever,
need any
I got the dance.
things?
I got the dance. Yeah. So I go into these spaces and they had the audition there, but they didn't know I worked there.
Okay.
At this point, I'm living by myself. So I'm a senior in high school. I have my own apartment, own car. My mother went back to Eastman where I was born. And I was just running the city trying to figure out ways that I could keep my rent paid for sure. And then I got the internship while getting paid to clean. And they had the audition there. In the back door, Cindy and Neff are letting people in, but it's a private call. So you got Dave Chappelle. What?
That was fine. That's
Reggae
fine.
Row is coming.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh my God, this is perfect.
But Dave Scott is head. Chuck wasn't there. I believe the director and a few producers were there. You have myself, Chase Benz. Chase Benz ended up being my partner in that movie.
Oh, fantastic. Good bookends.
You know what I'm saying? But I battled
strong
everybody.
bookends.
In the room, I battled a semicircle. One guy was from Chicago.
If you crash auditions, that's what has to happen.
You know,
all the
indeed.
time. You have to battle everyone in
Put
the
your
room.
badge up, baby. You know what I'm saying? But I ended up going through that back door. I wasn't allowed in. And since I was an intern, I knew the assistant working at the front desk that day. So when they said, no, you can't come in, you don't have an agent, it's for agency only. I said, I don't even know what that is. Cool. Whatever the agency is, great. I'll see y'all in a second. I go outside and go around the other side in the front. And my homegirl, she was like, oh yeah, they're doing an audition in the back. You can just go back there and wait in the lunchroom or our cafeteria of sorts. And I snuck in there and I sat for like 10 minutes. And I came outside. And I came out like dancing, like, okay, if I just like hit a couple steps, then they're just gonna let me come in the room because it's traffic everywhere. So I literally come out of the snack room and I'm like playing around with my hands and Neo is in the hallway, the singer Neo.
Yeah.
I'm moving my fingers like this and he looks at me, he's like, yo, show me how to do that. Like, that's fresh. How do you do that? And I showed him real quick. While I'm showing him, he's walking me into the callback studio because there's 2 studios.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, okay, yep, I'm about to get in here. We're going to go crazy.
Oh my God.
Dave Scott walks as well. And he's like, oh, have you auditioned yet? You're supposed to be in this room. I was like, okay.
You did exactly the thing. You're like, if I look like a dancer, they'll put me where the dancers go.
Facts.
Especially if
me
you
in
look
there.
like a really, really sick dancer.
Oh, I looked horrible.
No, you looked fantastic because you can fucking dance.
Thanks. I mean, that was cool. But the gear,
Oh my
this
God.
is during the
I want to
snap
see
movement.
this. I want to see it so bad.
The same beanies that I wear
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
I had that on, longer hair.
Okay.
I had on a big t-shirt. You've seen the new Victoria Monet music
Yes,
video?
yes.
That's how I looked.
Yeah.
Big white t-shirt, Jabot jeans, or and Filas, which are Forever I Love Atlanta sneakers, if you don't know.
Did not know
That's
that.
our acronym in the city for that.
Is that what it really is?
It's not, but Forever I Love Atlanta is Fila.
You got me. You got me. Dang it. Okay, carry on. I'm wrapped, by the way. This is a fantastic story.
I have a few of these actually. Like, that's why I say I don't
should
have
have
a
a
stand.
podcast.
I want to talk to you about it.
Let's go.
Okay.
I will tell you everything I know.
Please and thank you.
Oh my God, this is wonderful.
many activities.
I'm crying.
My face hurts.
Carry on. Okay, so Dave Scott's like, you should be in there.
And then he takes me across the hallway. Meanwhile, at the same time,
So
this
you're
is all
like, sorry,
happening.
Neo, I'll teach you finger waving another time.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, oh, yeah,
Finger
go ahead, do
wave?
your thing.
That's the hairdo.
You know.
What do you call this?
It is. It is very
But when I
much
said
so.
it out loud, I was like, that sounds right. And then I was like, no, that's not right. What is it called? And
Well,
can
at
you,
the time, finger tutting was really
finger
big.
it
So to
is,
go
it's
from
finger tutting. But okay.
it's a wave.
I'm going to put him down.
But to go from that into like all of like these, it's
Your
weird.
knuckles are extremely
I isolate, like I had to learn.
isolation is bananas, but I mean like the range of motion in your fingers.
Oh
is
yeah,
nuts.
it's timing.
It's timing, but it's also strength.
I'm basically just going like
it's
this.
coordinate. You know what it is? He's fantastic. That's what it is.
Thanks, I get it from Dana.
Baloney, baloney.
Oh, trust when I tell you, I've studied you for a very long time, even before we met. Like that's another thing that kind of like I think has helped transition me being, or help translate my athleticism into rhythmic movement. Like to become the dance artist, I've always been a movement artist because of athleticism, sports, right? But in this case, i.e. the audition, and we'll get back to, well, I'll mix it in, right?
Yeah, mix it.
Once we get in the room, I adapt quickly, or I've been able to. So a lot of
Because
this,
you're a good study.
but
a quick study.
Yeah, because I grew up in a daycare setting. So having the attention of your parents, not to say that it wasn't there, it's just quick. It's very minimal. So it's like, I love you. I'll take care of you. I'm going to feed you. But go in the room and tell them that I said to be quiet. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm a manager. Okay, great. I'll take the leadership role. I have no issue.
Wow.
So that's where I kind of got the wolf pack mentality, lead from the back. I have to be observant of everything so I can figure out where I can put myself to help. So that's where this sneaking into the audition thing came in, right? So we get here. Dave's like, all right, cool, stand here. He puts me on this little stage. And I'm looking at the other 6 or 7 people on this small stage in front of these producers and director. And he gives me St. Louis, which is the city, of course. And he says, you're going to dance like you're from St. Louis. And in my head, I'm like, I don't know any St. Louis dances besides the chicken head at the time, or the mono. And
So it turns out you knew like 4 or 5.
you know,
okay,
and I was like, all right, let me. And I said, okay, that's going to be easy in my head. He gives Chase, I think, LA. He gave a friend of mine after the fact, her name's Shan, and Antoinette Crank from Atlanta, which I knew the style. And I was like,
I got the wrong city.
I was like, damn it. And then he gave this guy named Lucky from Chicago Footwork, obviously. So they all go first. And then I go, but I'm mimicking them. And then I do my thing, and then I start going into each person's face. Because at this time period, I'm battle. Like,
Right, that was your
if
training.
you want
That was your
rounds, that's
first
it.
introduction to dance.
Expression. If you want it, I got it. Like, come get some. I don't care who it is.
Awesome.
So Dave could have got it. And even when we got on set, Dave put me up against Choppa. Do you remember him?
Yes.
One of the GOATs. Oh my gosh. His animation.
I would
and
be terrified. I would sit down.
What? I was trying to go crazy on him on set.
I bet you were.
But Dave was like, yeah, get him. And John Silver is sitting there laughing. Like, it's a few guys that I met on that gig. Even though I only did one scene, I was there for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Week and a half, 2 weeks. And at that moment in the audition, went through all those changes. Dave comes in and he puts his arm around me. He's like, all right, cool. I'm going to make sure that your agency calls me so that we can get you set up. And I was
And you were like, the
okay.
agency?
Right. That thing that I don't know or have.
Yeah.
As soon as he's saying that, it's just timing, right? In this space. As soon as he says that, Cindy and F come by the door. It's like, you weren't supposed to be in there. And Dave's like, oh, no, he's cool. And I'm like, okay.
I'm cool.
He said,
I'm
yeah,
cool.
just get him right. We're going to talk. And then a week later, they called me and was like, hey, so we have an audition for Block. Do you know what that is? Nope. Well, you booked this movie, so you need representation. And I said, okay. And I was like, all right, whatever that is. I'm 17 at the time. This is before my 18th birthday.
And you're still in high school.
Yeah, I haven't even graduated yet.
Yep.
Like, I have probably like 3 months left.
Amazing. Amazing.
The conversation kind of went, you booked the movie, we have an audition in a week. I said, okay, wherever it is, here's the address, meet us at Dance
Wait,
411.
audition in a week? You booked the movie, you have to audition?
Well, I had to audition for Block. This is when Block came to Atlanta. Block South.
Sorry, it doesn't always happen that you have a feature film and need to audition. What the hell?
Very true. I mean, I didn't understand the dynamics that were going on. I guess they wanted to just see how
Whatever
I
Dave Scott saw wasn't
Yeah.
enough? Okay, carry on.
I didn't know I knew Dave from You Got Served. I was like, you're the dude with the red
Yes,
tracksuit.
exactly.
That's it. That's all I knew. And you're tall as shit.
And
Like,
the perfect smile.
man, what?
Whoa.
Will light up a universe.
Whoa.
For sure.
We should have him come here and light the podcast.
Please, thank you. What? I mean, this is great. Don't get
I mean,
twisted.
obviously he should be on the podcast. Duh. But I'm
Duh.
like, this lamp with like all available lumens, wouldn't stand a chance next to him.
Not at all.
Incredible.
Not at all.
Incredible.
And his skin. We could talk about Dave for time. Okay, his skin is great.
Spin-off podcast
Big
where
facts.
we just compliment Dave Scott and his attributes.
Side note, I hope that he's good now as
I
well.
do too. I'm gonna reach
tap
out.
in. Yeah, I
Thank
haven't
you for
talked to- No
thank you for
worries.
bringing this up. This is important.
Yeah, he's important. Like
He
I
is
haven't,
important.
you know.
Whoa, career change for so many people. Like I know as a leader and as a person who's stepping on into the next phase of their creative life as a choreographer, as an instructor, being able to make opportunities available to other people the way that people have for us lights me on fire.
That is the
and I
driving
can tell,
force.
and it's people like that who have done that for so many people that make that look cool to do. Like makes me want to go do that.
We are privileged. We are blessed, man.
We are.
Like this is where the study habits come into play. Like having these, because I would say my story, even though we haven't delved too deep in detail wise yet, my story is rare, I imagine, because I hear the run of my peers at a time period and for some of the youth now. Mine was not the same. All of these situations, this one specifically I'm talking about now, it just has happened seamlessly almost. Even me booking each tour I've been on, I've only been on 2 tours, like titled tours, 3 if you include Pink Print. But I didn't have to audition, thankfully. I was brought in days before our first performance, late to most of these opportunities, to where I would have to learn 15 numbers in 2 days, 3 days. So if you include Justin, Pink Print 2, and Chris Brown's party tour, those are the only 3 tours that I've done that I was there from start to finish. Other than that, me getting with Usher or me being with Jason Derulo, I've had to learn as we went or learn right before.
And you think that that's highly unusual?
I don't think that's unusual.
What are the ways that your career's been so different than everyone else's?
I've done less than 10 auditions in my whole career, and I've been in this industry for 15 years plus. Yeah, I've only done less than 10.
Okay.
And that's because a mentor of mine, Al Jamal Jones, was friends with Divine Stevens, Akamon Jones, Jamaica Craft, and a few others.
And put your name in the hat,
He literally
put you in the
took me
room.
out of the Artist Factory and a club. So I was dancing at a nightclub doing the snap movement time period to get the party going. And he came to a club one night and he was promoting Carrie Hilson at the time. And I didn't know who she was yet because she hadn't come out. She was just writing. And at the end of that, he kind of like brushed up against me and told me like, oh, you get busy. Like, I'm going to see you. I'm like, okay. I don't know who the fuck this guy is, whatever. Literally, maybe a week or 2 later, I'm at the Artist Factory. He walks in. He's becoming an A&R. And he knows the network at the Artist Factory. He pulls me aside. I want you to meet me at this studio in a couple of days. I'm working at Dunkin' Donuts and this fucking music spot. So I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. I got 2 months left. I got to take these EOCs. I got to take these tests so I can graduate. I'm not concerned with anything but this check. Let me get it. He says, well, just rock with me. Trust me. You wanna meet me? I said, okay. Meet him at the Complex, which is Divine Stevens' studio in Atlanta. It's not open anymore, but at the time, walk in, and no. He takes me to the Artist Factory, and he introduces me to Jamaica Craft first. I walk in the room. It's Vic Damone, like Vic Carter, Brittany Perry Russell. Rio Henderson is in there also.
Okay.
And I forget who else. But I don't see who's behind the wall necessarily. I see Jamaica, and I didn't know who she was at the time. But Al Jamal looks at me with the seriousness that I've never felt from any other human at the time. He goes, when the music comes on, you dance. No matter what, you dance and you go crazy. I said, all right. And at the time, battle mentality.
Yeah.
Whoever wants it at any point in the day, I don't care if we're at the grocery store, you can get these rounds. She looks at me, Jamaica, and she goes, click. Turns the music on. It's I Proceed by Sierra. And I know the song because the album had just dropped. We're getting crazy in high school with these songs and such, right? As soon as I start dancing, I see a head pop from behind a pillar, and it's Sierra. And I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, what is happening?
Yeah, you're right. That's atypical. That doesn't
Now,
usually
this happened more than once. It happened more than once. That's the first time.
Cody.
A month later, less than a month later, me and Al Jamal are talking like every other day. I'm still interning at the Artist Factory. He's coming up. I'm seeing the artists that he's bringing in. He's just talking to me. He'll take me into the snack room and just talk to me. I'm like, okay, I guess this guy is cool. I'm in Atlanta by myself, granted. He says, okay, I got another one for you. He's like, you know who you need to be dancing for? Then we go to the complex. This is the second time. This happened 3 times. Second time. Get to the complex. Jamaica's not there this time. She comes in later, but it's me and him. He goes, all right, again, when the song comes on, go crazy. I said, all right, cool. There's a woman sitting in the corner. She has on a hood and her head is down. She has on a baseball cap. So I can't see anything but like her lips. And I'm like, all right, whoever. And she's not paying attention to me. So I'm getting kind of agitated where I'm like, oh, say hello. I'm Southern. So like,
be polite.
Hello. Yeah. Like, good morning.
Yes.
He goes, looks at me, click. I know the song because on the underground of Atlanta, Carrie started to bubble. And a lot of R&B artists who were crossing over into pop, like herself at that time period, the dance community started to kind of gravitate toward a lot of what that sound was. And we knew the songs in the studio. So I'm freestyling like I know the words. So I'm going nuts. And she looks up and I was like, oh shit, it's Carrie Hilson. And I'm like, what in the world, man? What is happening to me? And I'm doing stuff on the floor, playing around. And then he stops the music. He's like, you know who you need to be dancing for? I was like, who? He was like, Usher. I said, if you can make that happen, they can pay me $50 a day and I'll be good to go. Not knowing anything, he looks at me, he says, you will never effing say that again.
Yeah, good call. I'm glad he said that.
I was like, okay.
$50 a day is not a thing that anybody should do.
At all, ever, never, not today, not yesterday, not moving forward. If you do it, you suck. Sorry.
We can find
I'm joking.
We're going to send you some links so that you can not suck. Some references.
Indeed.
Some general guidelines and daily minimums that will help you not suck.
Says the
and
guru.
live a life that doesn't suck also.
Yes, and I'm aggressive, so that came off very aggressively. My
not
bad.
aggressive. Not aggressive. We can say direct.
Yes, very much so.
Direct. Okay, carry on.
So the third time after I did the Carrie thing and he says the Usher comment, I said, all right, cool, you set it up, whatever. Again, I'm not very trusting. So I'm like,
You're like, this isn't going to happen. It's whatever.
Exactly. Go back to Dunkin' Donuts, eating sour cream donuts, having a good old time.
Delicious.
Okay. And about a month later, we go to JPAT, which is Usher's mom's studio and his studio. I don't know this at the time, but JPAT is a very prestigious music studio, like camp where they take artists and they build them, just like the Artist Factory. But it was Usher and his mom's establishment.
Gotcha.
And
I've never heard of this ever before.
Atlanta cult classic moves like around the city. Like that city will grow you up. Love it. Oh,
Snore score. Wrist rolls asleep. That was deep.
Yeah, it was.
Carry on.
Pull up to the spot. It's very much so like private. So you have to go through a few things to get to the dance studio. Get in there. He says, when we go inside, just chill. I said, all right. Walk up to the front door. AJ is in the corner of the room. And he's sitting on the floor, no hair, has glasses. I remember
smooth as hell.
Okay.
Just sitting there, already smooth.
Floats. I remember his face from an Aaliyah video, and I kind of and Al Jamal puts his hand on my shoulder, and I kind of look at him. He was like, chill.
Oh.
I'm like, okay.
He caught you.
All right. I was like, okay.
He caught you.
Quick.
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
all right. AJ gets up. He walks across the room.
He floated across the room. Let's be honest. He levitated.
He's putting out sage on his hand. What? That's hot.
He is the smoothest guy.
Butter gets it from him. Chuck Norris gets Chuck Norris from AJ. Okay. Sorry.
Okay, so he floats over.
Floats over, is putting out sage on his hand, holds the sage, and he goes, hi, I'm AJ. What's your name? I say my name. He takes a CD out of his pocket and he goes, I want you to go in this studio across the room and choreograph a hook to the song on track 7. No, it's track 6. Because I remember him saying, if I hear track 5 or 7, I'm going to ask you to leave. And I'm like, okay, it's your shit.
Well
whatever you
done,
want.
AJ.
That's
and
he's like, I'm glad you know that. I was like, cool. Why is everybody talking to me like I'm some kid right now? I'm an adult. I understand what's going on. I'm 18, 19.
You are fully a kid.
Yeah, I'm a kid. I'm like 19 at this point. Almost 20, I think, now.
Okay.
Because I've been dealing with Al Jamal for about a year or so at the time.
Okay. So some time has gone by. Okay.
Yeah, but these moments I'm developing with him, like I'm just making relationships, right? And as soon as he says that, I hear somebody in the corner go laughing. It's Usher behind the freaking
Cackling, just laughing at
but behind the speaker. He comes out, he's like, hey, what's going on? Al Jamal puts that hand on my shoulder again. I look up, he's like, yeah, we're good. AJ's like, all right, cool. Y'all met, go into that room. I'll see you in a second. He's developing him for the Here I Stand album. And I think this is his first time creatively directing with that camp.
Yeah.
So it takes me 10 minutes to put the piece together because I'm in my bag already.
And moves just fall out
quickly.
You plus
now,
that music.
It's easy.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's What's Your Name with Will I Am. And I'm freaking out anyway because I hear Will on the song. And some of this is actually funny. From the Rock Your Body music video, you know, ding, ding, ding. I used that in the choreography because I didn't.
I'm dying right now because we finally have a video format podcast.
Yes.
So we'll add a little time code in that music video so that if you're listening on like audio only, that you know what we're talking about. But
Indeed.
carry on.
So I had fused at the time period a bunch of these moves and moments from music videos that I had been studying, and I finished in like 10, 15 minutes. And I opened the door and I just crossed my legs and I'm sitting outside the door and AJ's at the mic stand with Ush, and then Al Jamal is on his phone across the room. Al Jamal looks at me, he's like, what you doing? I was like, I'm done. And AJ's kind of looking at me over his shoulder repeatedly. And I guess I'm not getting it. So I'm like, I'm not going back in this room. I'm in here by myself. I don't care. I want to know what's going on out here.
Yeah. This is better than
this is better than there. Yeah. So AJ looks over. He's like, you good? I was like, yeah, I'm done. He gives one of these, and he looks at Ush, and Ush was like, exactly. And Al Jamal was like, I got it. And he walks across the room. He was like, all right, cool. Let me see it. Turn the music on. I perform it for him. He tilts his head, and then he was like, 1 second. Walks out the room, comes back in. He was like, let me see it one more time. Did it again, tilts his head, walks out the room. AJ comes in, looks at it, tilts his head, walks out the room. Usher comes in, looks at it, do it again. I did it probably 4 times for him. Tilts his head, walks out the room. I was in there for 20 minutes after that.
By yourself?
Yes, and I'm like, what in the hell is going on?
Just wondering, like, was it bad?
To the facts, like,
was it good?
I don't know what's happening to me.
What is this punishment I'm receiving right now? What is this?
So I played the song again, and I'm just kind of freestyling, whatever. And then they all 3 come in the room, and they said, "All right, cool." AJ says, "All right, cool." He said, "Let me see it one more time." He said, "All right, bet. Let's take this out, and then add this." He takes this out because, of course, takes that out. He takes one other move that I got from a Sierra video out, and then he replaced it with some of his speed. And then he's like, all right, cool. I'll see you tomorrow.
That is a supervising choreographer for you.
1,000%.
A curator, a chemist,
1,000. And amazing at it.
Yeah.
I learned so much from those experiences, right?
That's huge. And then you went on to work with AJ
for 10 years.
For a decade.
At that point, he developed me. I was just freestyling and I could choreograph because Al Jamal was teaching me how to structure movement. And I had never been on a stage, really. Like, I've been on like some hood stages in the neighborhood. Like, been on some stages with a few local artists, just like randomly doing things. After getting that structure from Al Jamal, working with the Carrie and working with Lloyd and working with a Sierra at a time period, just development, like not really putting too many steps. I did help choreograph Jamaica with Carrie on her first project amongst a few others. Cause you know, she's another person that is a great curator of like
Jamaica.
A picture.
Oh, it's incredible.
So amazing.
Yeah.
And at that point I was working with Jamaica and AJ quite consistently for maybe 2 years between the two of them. And then at one point, Jamaica kind of looks at me and she's like, you should go over there and stay over there for a little while. Not in a bad way. She's just like, I'm going to have you also, but he has quite the effect on you. I think you should stay over there.
That is a fit.
Yeah. And I naturally move very similar, surprisingly.
How would you explain it to people who are listening who might not be dancers? How would you explain your style of movement? I
am groovy. I am very sharp and strong. I'm very swift.
Very
There
swift.
is, I would say I'm a kaleidoscope with a groove, if that makes sense. So I make shapes for stage, for camera, if you will, but more stage movement as far as being big.
Yes. Huge scale, arms and
yeah.
legs. For how tall are you? I feel like people ask men that question the way that people ask women how old you are. How tall are you?
I lie about it, to be very honest.
I know, exactly. I
do.
also tell people that I'm 20.
It's okay when I tell you I am also.
But you dance like you're 6'4".
1,000. I think the energy is that as well. I am 5'7". On a good day.
But we are great partners.
We
look
are.
like, listen, I don't think there's a wrong height to be a dancer.
If you get off, you get
for
off.
anyone. If you get off, you get off. I was going to say if you get down, you get down.
No, it's facts.
But okay, so your style, scale wise, I see what you're saying in that it would do well for stage. But I would add the only thing that you haven't said yet is this tremendous effortlessness. Like, I think probably because you're such an athlete, the things that you are doing that look hard, if other people did them, I would say, oh, that looks hard. But the way that you do them makes them look very easy. You have a very effortlessness, seamless, smooth thing that,
Thank
is
you.
really fun to watch. I really love it very much.
Thanks.
Of
I don't know
course.
where that, well, I do know where it comes from.
Certainly AJ didn't hurt that. I
No,
mean,
he enhanced it.
Yeah.
Because that time where the choreography moment happened, it was for this NFL like performance that he did with Rio and Vic. I didn't get to go because I'm too short. And at the time, I had long hair, and I probably weighed $120 wet.
Okay.
No facial hair, just a baby.
Yeah.
You know.
Ivan
and
used to get that a lot.
man, and he's tall, so I can only imagine. Ivo, you look great, man. You got a little weight on you now. I got a little muscle. I see you, daddy.
Coming from
Literal father.
literal father. Crazy. No. I'm trying to have all three of them on the podcast.
And it's gonna be a ball.
Nala D and Ivo. Come on. I'm gonna
That
need
sounds
more.
like one
I'm gonna
word.
need more mugs. I'm gonna need a little Words That Move Me baby bottle. What?
Well, you might need a sippy or a cup with a straw.
By then, yeah. Come on.
Oh, she's pulling through a straw.
Get
Easy.
the hell out of here.
She's a full-on moving human. She's no longer
Oh yeah,
chewing
I've
gum.
seen the movement.
Facts. Excuse me. Carrot.
Taking in the room. Yes. Directing. Fully
Facts.
directing.
It's like, it's that finger.
Incredible. Oh, there. That. You should teach her how to finger wave.
Soon coming.
I did it. I said it wrong on purpose.
No.
Soon, it's coming.
Finger waving is real.
Thank you.
No
You're
worries.
too kind. Okay. I'm seeing the lay of the land. This is fascinating. Your story. You must have a podcast. I'm sorry.
I would love
You
to.
have to do this. I will help you in all the ways.
Thank
you can just come over and hijack mine for a little while.
I will definitely take you up on that. Don't get it twisted.
I have a quick round of questions that I want to make sure that we
stress.
get to because they're arbitrary. And sometimes interesting shit comes out of that. Are you
Okay.
prepared?
I think so.
Okay. We're calling this section Roll With It.
Okay.
Exactly. Wrist roll with it. You picked up on that.
Got
Very
you.
keen, very keen. Okay, so you are going on a tour.
Mm-hmm.
How many have you done now? You mentioned the 3 were the only ones that you had to audition for, but how many would you say you've toured it with? How many times?
Well, I haven't had to audition for any. I just have only been on 3 titled. Sorry. Just 3 titled tours. No, you're good. That was not a stab. That was not a stab.
Such a flex.
No, it's like, no, I haven't auditioned for any of
I
them,
love
actually.
it. Oh my God, I've been crying for an hour. Okay, you're going on another tour. You didn't have to audition, don't worry.
No, it's okay.
Other than shoes, clothes, and
Essentials.
devices.
Like, what are my
Yeah,
essentials?
is there something that you bring that maybe people would not expect that you have to have with you on tour?
Actually, no, because I open myself to the opportunity and the environment. Like, I try to understand where I am with the artist. Like, what is it that I'm going to gain from this artist? Because I'm an artist. I don't feel that I'm a support. I think that we share the stage because my light is as bright as whoever I'm on the stage with because I offer something to that space. So I think that the way that you're going to take from me or receive from me, I'm going to do the same. So example, with Usher, I picked up a flavor palette. So I was more open to cuisine, more open to the opportunity of exploring a city to get food or wines or the bourbons or the whiskeys and all that like refinement for a male to kind of gather to have what I would say is a expensive time. And it helped me to change how I clothe myself also. So I think that's what I picked up on that tour.
So you leave your house with nothing and you go
Terry
out on
Santiel.
tour and pick
Very much so,
Santiel,
Terry.
you guys. So Terry, who has been on the podcast, percussionist for JT, also original founding member of Rolls Royce. So if you've ever worked at the car wash, that double clap is Terry fucking Santiel. He's so great. And he is notorious for like going on a full leg of tour with like at carry-on.
Blue jeans, black shirt, baby.
Blue jeans, black shirt, and he's like, he has the essentials only. Okay, so you leave with minimal and you pick up as you go in terms of not only, I love the way you answered this question, by the way, not only in terms of objects, but in terms of qualities and tastes and values and things like that.
And I think that stems from the daycare environment, surprisingly, because you have to become a people person, not a people pleasing person, because I'm me. I'm going to enjoy the opportunity how it makes me most comfortable, not to make anyone else uncomfortable in the environment, but I have to be able to pick up your nuances so I understand how we can collaborate in this space. So
tour is a collaboration. That is a family.
And you don't know the people before those moments necessarily. Like you're literally getting thrown into a mixing bowl saying you're going to be on the road for 2 years.
This is your new family. You're welcome.
Okay. You stink. I got to deal with that.
Yes, you do.
You know what I mean?
I love the way that you take this question. You're approaching it from the place of what qualities do I bring? What mindsets do I bring versus what objects do I bring? And I think it's true when you're heading into like a life event like a world tour, there is no object that's really going to save your life. There's no like secret hack to crushing tour. It does seem like a dream job from the outside, but you and I both know that it's extremely taxing, and there's no such thing as a dream job. There will be a toll, a tax that you have to pay for everything as awesome as getting paid to tour the world.
Yep. We love it.
Okay, next question. These are supposed to be rapid fire, by the way.
Sorry.
So we'll get better. No, it's okay. Wrist roll with it. What would you say is your dance superpower? We've talked a lot about your scale, your smooth, your speed. This is the effortlessness. I love it. Yeah. Favorite move? Go. Quick.
My signature backslide foot move. The one singular slide move.
You're going to have to do it. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about.
So I plant one foot, whether it be right or left, and I glide behind it.
Ooh, I know the one. Ooh, I know the one. Ooh, it is fresh. Yeah, it's good. Least favorite move? A move that you would just Control-Alt-Delete from time.
What's the knee drop thing?
Thread, where you put your foot behind the thing and
you drop from here. I can't do it that great. You're gonna smash it.
I don't. Well, I'm probably out of frame. It's this.
Yes. Yeah. I don't like that one.
Wow. That's the only way I know how to get to the ground, so I do it sometimes.
No. I like it, but I physically...
You would delete it for you?
Whoa, 1,000.
Look at you backslide.
Okay.
You're very good at questions, but I almost asked you, by the way. I'm going to ask.
What's up?
Who's a better dancer, JT or Usher?
That's a hard one because it's just different. It's different. Because one's a gentleman and the other one's a used to be ladies' man. They're both gentlemen, for sure. I.e. 2020 when it comes to Justin. But you have the same nuance for Caught Up.
Oh my God, I love.
Like Confessions was a gentleman's like.
Oh, I love. Listen.
It's a hard pill. That's a hard pill.
You can't really answer that question on air. But I got you after. For you.
Yeah, okay. I got you after.
So I think I also know your default freestyle move. Is it the same backslide one, or do you have a default freestyle go-to?
Freestyle go-to, I would say it starts with right arm wave.
Interesting.
Or I'll there's an illusion.
Yeah.
I'm the essence walking in the circle is what I kind of feel like it is.
Ooh, watch me essence.
Exactly.
Watch me essence on
okay.
you. Mine is probably a Ranajan Padabu Ray situation.
Ooh, I've seen this. And then spin it.
And a quick swift pirouette. And a quick swift lock. But I also, my time saver, this is my like I'm killing time set.
Hey.
And it's like I need breath.
But it's this on you as well.
What is it?
The joy of being able.
That's my definite freestyle go-to move.
But I mean, this is where my study habit of the individuals I've come across comes into play. I'm going to use you as the example.
Back to that. You were studying me?
Sorry, I took the rapid out of fire. Okay, let's do a clip insert here. Sorry, this is my podcast
You know,
now.
yeah,
let's
let's practice that. Yeah.
Dana at Superbowl, Cry Me a River.
Yes.
That essence, your scowl,
I was mad. I was
indeed.
acting.
What? Dacting at its finest.
Look out.
Okay?
I love acting. I've been in acting classes for years. It makes my dancing better. Come on.
I've done 2 years acting because I've heard you say that.
Yeah.
In 2014, maybe 2015, we had never met. But I was outside of Millennium, and this is after a Marty's class.
Okay.
And I just kind of was ear hustling the environment, and you and Marty were having a moment, and I think there were a few students around, and I think someone might have asked your advice about this, or asked Marty his advice, and you kind of gave your opinion, and it was like, well, you should get into an acting class, or, you know, you should study more than dance. And I said, 2 years later, I was taking acting classes because of you.
Nice.
And watching you in class, because I wasn't dancing out here like that too crazy. I just was coming to Millennium to watch.
Interesting. Okay.
So I did a lot of
were you in clubs? Were you freestyling? Were you just
not here yet,
in
not
class?
in LA.
Oh, okay.
Like LA, I got here when I was 27, but at that time period, I had only been here twice. One was for a Chris Brown audition because we were in Stomp the Yard. And they said, if you were in the movie, you'll get the job. Too short. I was too short. And Rich and Tone didn't know me. And Chuck actually took...
Maldonado.
Yeah, Chuck Maldonado actually took the initiative to come to me personally because I flew in town from Atlanta. Had no money. Came in, was staying at a Super 8. They took my clothes at the Super 8 and they locked me out of my hotel. So I literally slept on Misha Gabriel and Nick Bass's couch for a day. They didn't know me. Chase introduced me. So this is like these moments, all of this stuff like symmetrically started happening around the same time. And that, like I said, it's the higher power saying that you're supposed to be doing this. In whatever facet of the entertainment industry you want to exist in, you will. And you're going to meet people who are going to take care of you along the way.
Good people taking care of good people with talent, man.
1000%. So backtracking to you and that scowl of yours, the additive to your freestyle is the joy of being a movement artist and the unapologetic presentation of that. A lot of people don't possess that button press in a moment.
The performance thing.
Quick.
We call it stage presence around here. And actually, my acting teacher, who is also a podcast guest, I will link to his episode, which is fan-freaking-tastic. He explains stage presence simply as the amount of interest you have in what you are doing. How interested are you in what you are doing? And I'm very, very interested. Very interested in what I'm doing. And the joy part, for me, honestly, I comes very naturally, especially when dancing. It's actively hard for me. And actually, Cry Me a River, it's funny that was your reference point. Not natural for me to dance from a dark place or from anger or from friction even. It's not very natural. But Marty's moves now, by this point, are very natural for me. So doing Cry Me a River plus an unnatural emotional state of dance was kind of natural. It made very much sense. And
but you embraced the environment.
Yeah, like that was the move. That was exactly. And how do you not? I mean, come on.
Okay.
That band, that moment, those moves, and that guy,
scream.
Justin is what you said earlier about being a person who shines. Justin is a star who shares shine, and it is very rare to feel quite so forward when you are a backup dancer.
1000%.
He really puts people and talent forward. And that is why you were there, because you are wildly talented. Holy hell.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And I've taken less than 5 Marty classes. I didn't have to, I don't know why Marty
you didn't audition for tour.
I did not.
That speaks volumes, y'all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have no idea why this is what's happening. But again, I'm very aware of moments. Sometimes we fall into the background and forget to be aware and be present. And I've had moments of that. But in these staple points in my career or in life, because I don't really call it the career, I think this is just the life that I'm living. I just am able to navigate in uncomfortable spaces and come out with whatever I feel me personally offers the space that we're standing in. And Marty's movement, for example, is very intricate, but I love instrumentation because I played drums for like 6 years.
Yo, why is all the drummers coming out of the woodwork right now? I used to think, this is classic. I used to think like, why aren't there more drummers that dance? Or why aren't there more women that lock? And the answer is, I just don't know who they are. Oh, they exist.
They're around.
Oh, they fully exist.
Yeah.
This is great. Carry on.
You know, is it Taya? Not Taya, Taya from Canada. She's nasty at locking. She doesn't do it as much anymore. She should. You should. Carlito Sienna's wife.
Okay. Got it.
She's amazing.
Okay. Drumming.
Yes. So stepping into Marty's world and yours with this movement, I knew that when I watched class that there are spaces to freestyle, right? If you give me 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a lot of time for me. That is a lot of time.
Oh yeah, you're gonna feel that.
What?
You're gonna feel that all the way up.
And there are spaces in class where I couldn't feel it the way that I knew I could. So of course I'm going to play off the people that are next to me in these spaces, i.e. Natalie Gilmore. So the second time I took Marty's class, he did a Prince song. You walk in, I woke up. Yes.
Never seen a pretty girl look so good, baby. Love girl, never expected. What's the song called? You are a natural beauty, unaffected.
I don't know.
Oh no, it's coming. I stand corrected. We're almost hooked. You got the look.
Yes, you got. You got the look.
I know this one.
Bing. Body slamming.
Your body slamming. Your body kick step. I know it. Okay, carry on.
So,
actually, I'm going to include, sorry. There's a video on YouTube of me dancing that the first time he taught it.
Word.
Which is Old Millennium.
Yes, so I think I was in that class.
Get out of here.
I think it was me, you, Misha Gabriel, Natalie
I'm wearing
Gilmore.
a Who Got Skills shirt.
Were you on
blue
Misha's
sweatpants,
left side?
Because
Misha was in the center. You know Misha, he was in the center.
I do.
Yes. And I think Marty might have jammed
Oh my
as
goodness,
well.
yeah.
So in that, there's a freestyle moment, 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken. And I was bouncing off of Natalie, but Natalie didn't know me dance-wise that well yet. Nobody really did. And she didn't curse at me, but she cursed me. She was like, don't mess me up, Cody. Ooh. Don't you mess me up.
Ooh.
Hilarious, because we've shared this moment with each other, of course. And in that space, I said, okay, I have to not do a flip here. I have to not go to the floor here because I don't have enough space to do it.
And I don't want to mess with Natalie up.
Exactly. But this is me going for that I turn. Before that extension, right before that is a freestyle moment. And I did hecka slamming, bing, 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 down her body.
Nice.
And she looked at me and it kind of took her off a little bit.
Yeah. Ooh.
So at that time period in class, people weren't really like doing that.
I actually texted Marty about this combo not that long ago. He should bring it back.
I would love to do it.
We should do it. You can tap.
What? I would love to. Dana, I just want to dance next to you.
Let's go.
You have no idea.
I know. I'm so excited. What? Let's go. Are
Please
you around for a while?
Yeah. I don't plan to go anywhere. Look,
I leave on Sunday, but back the following Monday. Let's dance. I really would love to.
Please
dance.
and thank you.
I would love to dance.
More than anything, love to do that.
Okay. More than that. Oh wait, this might answer our next rapid fire question.
No stress.
You get to do a duet with anybody living or dead. Who is it?
Dance or just create anything?
Figure skating.
Okay, figure skating.
It's
Will
so funny.
Ferrell.
Marty asked the same question. Oh my God, great answer.
Yes, I would love to do that with Will Ferrell.
Okay, great. I take it. If you were an animal, what animal would you be?
Red panda.
That is very specific. I thought you would be more of like a cat, like a fast cat,
Not
like
really
a
into
cheetah
cats.
or something.
Well, yeah, I could do that.
Right? Like you're
I could
really
do that.
swift.
I'm really swift.
Yeah,
Panther.
crazy Swiss.
Yeah.
Swiss.
Swiss cheese.
Crazy
yes.
Swiss. It's like Swift with
Swiss
wrist roll.
Yes, I take that. A swift.
Okay.
Ooh.
Final question. Are you ready for it?
I think so.
What are the words that move you the most?
The words that move me the most, as far as making my blood boil, let's go, would be that.
Oh, doesn't it just work?
It does.
Let's go. Just
but it has to be in a
works.
specific moment.
Okay. Fair. I try to use it on wrist roll all the time. I'm like, let's go. Let's go. And you're right. It does
It
require a
does.
moment. It requires a specific circumstance.
And it depends on, yes, it depends.
But let's try it. Riz, let's go. Let's go.
Yes, sugar.
Good, let's go.
It was the ears.
Good,
huh?
let's go.
Yes.
That was so.
Oh, there it is. Ooh.
So is it let's go? Is that what it is?
As far as getting the blood to boil.
Yeah.
But then it's a thing of, I listen to a lot of podcasts where it is to train the mind to understand how to illuminate. I am successful inside and out. I am creative inside and out. I am, what is another one that I've been on recently? I'm attractive.
Inside and out.
Like I am attractive. So therefore I attract. So these things inspire me to move forward. And a little bit of doubt. I don't really need people to doubt me in order for me to exist. But if I can sense, because my intuition is very strong, if I can sense that you are not in full belief that I can do something, then I have no choice but to show you.
Ooh, I love that.
Like it's no other option.
I love this.
I.e. the audition.
Okay.
Excuse me, you can't come in here because you don't have an agent. I don't know what that is, but I'm still coming in here.
Okay.
It just depends on the situation. I think I have to arrive at it. Like I have to confidently be in a headspace where I'm like, all right, cool, whatever you think, because it's not up to you. And it's not up to me either, but whatever is happening right in here right now, I'm going to follow that. So that's what's happening.
Inside and out. Inside becomes out. I think all the wonderful things that have been inside of you and gifted to you, you turned into very real, very tangible talent.
Thank you.
And awesome projects and awesome things, awesome moves that I cannot wait to share with you again sometime soon.
We will do it. Tuesday of 2 weeks from now.
Tuesday, 2 weeks from... What, are you going to come take class?
You're teaching
I
ML.
teach on Tuesdays.
I saw the clip of your class. Please. I would love to.
I don't know what we're going to do next Tuesday, but
Doesn't matter. I'm in there.
Let's go. Oh my God.
I'm going to be a zombie.
Oh, no, I didn't mean let's go. Sorry. That was misleading. That was confused. Oh, good. Oh, big yawn.
Yeah. I'm going to be a zombie though, but I am going to be there.
Why are you going to be a zombie?
Well, I teach strength training because I am into fitness at the moment as well. But that is, I have bigger plans for fitness and dance. And
this sounds like a Codie Wiggins round 2.
you know, we are going to be in here. Okay, I would love to.
You're building something. You're creating something.
And I would love to chop your ear off with this one as
Let's
well,
go.
Van Gogh.
Okay.
That's good. I am gaining knowledge by teaching.
Yeah.
So I train a strength training class at 6 a.m. 4 times out of the week.
Woof.
And I do personal training every day as much as I can before noon, so I still have the rest of the day to dance. There's a podcast I was listening to a while ago, and if you join the 5 a.m. club, you have 2 days in one day.
That's us.
Yeah.
She's up.
5 a.m. club, baby.
She's up.
Ready to go.
This is a lot to handle, isn't it? Okay, well, if you come take my class that day, I'll come work out with you that morning.
Holler at me. We can get it.
The snore score is going way up over here.
I'll give you a warm up because my workouts it's strength training.
I have a feel. Yeah.
Woo, get
It's
it.
rude, isn't it? It's
No.
rude. She's
I want to see the meter. Here it comes.
Okay, let's do that. I'm so down. I love cross training in general. It's really important to me. Comes up on the podcast all the time.
But it's all for tour.
No.
Well, I mean, for me, it's all for tour.
Oh, I see.
Life like routines. Okay.
Yeah, you have to, because the show at that point isn't going to keep you strong. Dancing doesn't keep you strong at that point. You're doing the same moves, so 153 shows.
Yep.
You actually must counter that with cross training, because those moves that, on a week basis might make you strong. It makes you strong at those moves, but start to deteriorate
quickly.
Quickly. Okay, Cody, let's talk athleticism and moves another time. We'll have you come back and we'll talk about this training business of yours. Thank you so much for putting my dog to sleep. That's not what I meant.
No, it's okay.
That's not what I meant to say, but she's
It was soothing.
real
It's okay.
cozy right now.
Yeah, she is. Thank you for having me, Dana.
Thank you for sharing these stories. You are fascinating. I cannot wait to be a weekly listener to your podcast.
I can't wait for you to help me produce that so we can share.
Tell me what you need.
Anything, everything, all of it, all of the gems.
You can have all of the things that we've learned.
And vice versa.
Thank you.
Always.
Thank you.
We cross paths for a reason.
Yes. I can't wait till the next one.
Sames. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, my lord. Thank you. Thank you guys all for being here as well. I really appreciate the very early, this is just my second video format episode.
Oh, congratulations.
All of the other ones have been audio only. So thanks everybody for listening, audio and video world, and keep it funky. I'll talk to you soon. This podcast was produced by me with the help of many. Big love to our executive assistant and editor, Riley Higgins. Our communications manager is Ori Valladares. Our music is by Max Winnie. Logo and brand design by Bree Reitz. Thumbnails and marketing by Fiona Small. You can make your tax-deductible donations to Words That Move Me, thanks to our fiscal sponsor, the Dance Resource Center. And also, many thanks to you. I'm so glad you're here, and if you're digging the pod, please share it. Leave a review and rating. And if you want to coach with me and the many marvelous members of the Words That Move Me community, visit wordsthatmoveme.com. If you're simply curious to know more about me and the work I do outside of this podcast, visit thedanawilson.com.